So I've been sanding and sanding and sanding and sanding and sanding. It's down to 1,000 now, but I've still got little bitty, little shiny spots in the curves. So I'm going really, really slow so that I don't burn through this thin film of linseed oil that I'm just going to start out by saying nobody on the planet is ever going to finish a guitar the way that I've just done this guitar. But I did this on purpose because what's going to happen is the refraction of light through the grains is going to be so tremendous, it's going to look prettier than it's going to play. Now mind you, I say that also because I was looking at the cavity and it looks like it's a little bit off from the neck pocket. I don't know, I'll find out when I set it up if I've got to modify the neck pocket shape again. But regardless, I did this finish on purpose. I really appreciate all of the livelihood of the holograms within the grains of wood. And I think it too often that it just gets masked over. And it took me burning this guitar, sanding down what I wanted to show through, and then learning how to work that style finish so that I don't burn through the edges into the wood after I stained it. I wanted this color change because I wanted to note to myself how stain interacts with the carbon. Now, I will definitely tell you there's these parts right here where it just, the way the board was, this was the end of the dunnage on the stack, and there was actually a rectangle right here that went all the way through here. And you, fortunately, I don't even know what kind of magical miracle it was that this rectangle right here you can't even see. But I think burning out all of the excess saps that were concentrated where the pinch was helped to expand the wood back out and be a little more fluffy so that it could accept the coloring inside the grains when I warmed the board up and did my staining. I went from yellow, and then I started slowly mixing up green and running and letting it soak in and trying to keep the board hot, all the way out to some blues. And in the sunlight, has this birefringence that beautiful wood always has. So I wanted to amplify that with this guitar build. Not only that, it was the very first time I'd ever experimented with dyeing with pigment dyes into wood. So it was kind of a shot in the dark to start with, just to see what I could accomplish, just because I'd never seen anything like this done. And I chose linseed oil because of the way it polymerizes. What I really ultimately am shooting for is that the linseed oil polymerizes in the upper layers of the wood so that by the time I get it sanded down to 1,000 grit, I still have a little bit of tooth, which I only sanded with the grain to keep the layers of birefringence the same for the grain in the finish. I've noticed it makes a difference over the years. Going like this, it eats up your refraction in the wood grain. And this knot, right there turned out super duper chill. I like how it took up a lot of the green and blue over on this side, but it goes and does this limey lemon thing over here. And anyway, back to the point. The reason I'm leaving a small film is because I don't want this dark color to go away when I go to buff this. When I go to buff this, I'm going to use a beeswax based furniture paste. It is going to have something to sit on, i.e. the tooth of the 1000 grit in the linseed oil, so that when I run the buffer, it doesn't burn the wood or the color. And that, I'm still a little puckered for that. I'm not ready yet, but I'm getting close, and you'll never know until you do it. So I'm looking forward to showing y'all this finish. It doesn't look like I've done much, but it's really, honestly, I've been sanding for a month to try to accomplish this. And only reason that I'm willing to do it is because I know what beauty lies in all the wood grain. And I love trees. If they're gonna cut one down, I want to do something with it instead of turn it into mulch. So, hope y'all are having a good Sunday. Still got a little more work to do on the edging, get these little tiny crevices filled, and then I've got the same thickness all the way through, ready for some wax. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to see what this thing looks like waxed. When it's wet, it glows. It absolutely glows, and there's a flip-flop of color from this side to that side too as you go around and look at it. And I know guitars ain't for looking at, they're for playing, but I thought it was a worthwhile adventure, and hope y'all are digging it as much as I am. One of these days I'm gonna play it and we'll see what we can get out of it on the sound side.